Europe, narrow winding roads and a tight economy resulted in cars which excelled in maneuverability and efficiency. In the United States, a luxury economy required heavy cars of enormous horsepower. The Canadian-American Challenge Cup Series is being called the ultimate in racing competition because it combines the best of both automotive worlds. The Can-Am Series at Road Atlanta, featuring the fastest racing cars in the world with the largest racing engines in use anywhere. Certain facts about the Can-Am car indicate just how remarkable these machines are. Most Can-Am cars can accelerate to 100 miles per hour in 6 1/2 seconds. On a 2-lane road, they can take a right-angle turn at 75 miles per hour. They can spin their wheels upon acceleration at 150 miles per hour. They develop 700 horsepower in a car that weighs 300 pounds less than a Volkswagen. The Can-Am cars that have proved most successful are those of Team McLaren. Of the last 28 Can-Am races, a time spanning almost 3 years, the McLaren team has won 25, one of the great achievements in all of sports. Today at Road Atlanta, Team McLaren will be trying for its 20th consecutive win. The lead driver of the team is now Dennis Hulme, who's been driving with injured hands since his car caught fire at Indianapolis. Peter Gethin joined the team soon after the team's founder, Bruce McLaren, died testing the prototype car for this year's Can-Am Series, a car which retains a McLaren trademark of superior performance and reliability. The most dramatic challenge to the McLaren reign is Jim Hall's Chaparrals. These cars have provided much of the major innovation in modern racing car history. The original Chaparral was the first car to use aerodynamic spoilers, a device to keep the front end from lifting at high speeds. It was the first car to use airfoil-shaped wings to keep the rear from lifting, and first to use an automatic transmission. And now, having abandoned most of its inventions to the competition, the Chaparral arrives on the 1970 circuit with a totally new concept in race car engineering. Helicopter fans driven by an auxiliary fuel-injected engine, which provides partial vacuum from underneath the rear body, literally sucking the car to the track. The great promise of the Chaparral seemed to be finally realized at Road Atlanta when it upset Team McLaren and won the pole position. Lola is the manufacturer which provides McLaren with its most consistent competition. In the 2 races preceding Road Atlanta, Peter Revson's Lola finished second to Dennis Hulme at Lexington, Kentucky, and Bob Bondurant's Lola was second behind Peter Gethin at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Lola for 3 years has been striving to recapture the winning form it had in 1966, when its driver John Surtees won number 1 in the point standings for the initial year of the series. The underdog is always Tony Dean's Porsche. Dean's car has an engine less than 1/2 the size of the competition. His strategy is to first finish, which he almost always does, and hope for the right circumstances to finish first, which he never has. Sterling Moss leads the pace lap around the newly built Road Atlanta, a beautiful and interesting track because it was structured around the natural lay of the land. It has many hills and turns which challenge the driver's skill as well as the car's performance. And the hilly infield allows spectators many excellent vantage points. Can the Chaparral break the amazing win streak of Team McLaren, or will one of its innovations falter? All the cars are designed to finish the 190-mile, 75-lap race without a pit stop. Should a car go to the pits for any reason, it might remove him from serious competition. As the race begins, Hulme, Gethin, and Revson outdrag Vic Elford Chaparral down the pit straight. Elford will try to regain position in the sharp turn where his car has a strong advantage. The strategy of most cars in slower qualifying positions will be to stay back and conserve their engines in hopes that the front runners will somehow be taken out of the race. And in fact, on lap 10, Dennis Hulme surprisingly crashes into Wilson's Lola T163 and is out for the day. Peter Gethin is now in the lead and alone carries the hopes of Team McLaren. On lap 18, Ron Goldleaf in position 25 crashes into Tom Dutton, who was in 18th position. By now, it's obvious that the new course of Road Atlanta is to be the scene of some unexpected events, possibly because of the unfamiliarity of the drivers with the track. On lap 14, the Chaparral holding third position experiences problems with its auxiliary engine. It goes to the pits and remains there a hopeless 15 minutes while mechanics try to pinpoint the trouble. Later, the Chaparral comes out of the pits with the auxiliary engine still not functioning. Peter Gethin becomes the new leader. But on lap 20, his car spins out, tearing off part of the front bodywork, and he goes to the pits. The crew works feverishly to repair the damage and salvage Team McLaren's diminishing chances. Gethin is soon back in the race and charging. Peter Revson in his T220 Lola now takes the lead, and there doesn't appear to be anyone around seriously challenging him. For 10 laps, Revson rides easily in the lead. Then on lap 30, while approaching the infield access bridge, the right rear tire fails. Revson crashes into the embankment, and Bob Brown hits him from behind. Neither driver was seriously injured. In the Castrol BRM, a car new to Can-Am racing, George Eaton, much to his surprise, finds himself the fourth new leader. In an awkwardly handling machine with an engine that experts say will not last the race, Eaton pushes on in an effort to stave off the rapidly closing Peter Gethin. For 19 laps, Eaton bravely maintains the lead, until on lap 49, a piston melts. Eaton lives to the pits. With Hulme, Revson, Elford, and Eaton, among others, out of the race, Gethin recovers the lead. It appears that Team McLaren's streak of 19 successive wins will now be 20. Gethin races on confidently, but on lap 68, 7 laps from the finish, Gethin's transmission fails, assuring for the first time in 20 races that Team McLaren is not a winner. And the final leader? The man who qualified 10th fastest. The man who always said you have to first finish to finish first. And who finally found the right set of circumstances. The new leader and winner of the first Road Atlanta Can-Am race. Tony Dean and his 908 Porsche, of course.